Hi, my name is Katie and I am the creator of the style system Fantastical Beauty. And in this video today, I'm talking about a broader topic, which is if you feel like you hate everything in your wardrobe. Do you hate all of your clothes? Is that a word you're using? I hate all my clothes. If you do, here's why you might and what you might do about it. I see this as having a very simple two-branch beginning. I think that either it is the clothes, and we'll talk about that, or it isn't the clothes, and we'll talk about that. I think that the more sure you are that it is the clothes, almost the more you need to hear the possibility that it's not the clothes. I think that going through the it's not the clothes explanation and steps to sort of shore up that potential problem will help, even if it is the clothes. But I'm still going to do that second, because I think if you're here for this video, you think it's the clothes, and we should go through that first, sticking to what you might be most interested in. But try to stick around for the second part. If it is the clothes, maybe they don't represent who you are anymore. Maybe you stopped buying things for a period of time, or you kept buying them, but for the person that you used to be and not for the person you were becoming. And so you end up with a wardrobe full of clothes that do not suit who you are now, and they do not suit who you're trying to become. So there's like a lag or a gap in the clothing that you have and your current and future version of yourself that you care about. That can make you hate everything in your wardrobe. That is the clothes. Identifying that as the problem is going to be very beneficial for how you're going to move forward with phasing out those clothes and what you're choosing to phase in that does represent who you are now and who you are trying to become. That could be down to sizes. It could be about the mood of the clothing, your preferences, your inspiration, your personal life needs, if your lifestyle has changed. There are a lot of things that can fall behind if you're not consciously thinking of what you need right now in your life. And I think that this is a lot bigger problem for really large wardrobes, because with really small ones, where you're wearing everything you own, like 10 all year round thinking, it's very obvious right away if that lag is starting, if your life or your needs or your size or your mood is growing in a different direction from what you are wearing, because you're wearing it all the time. Maybe your clothes aren't personal to you because they are old in this way, or they were gifted to you and it's difficult to gift clothing, right? But maybe it's not the right gift for you. Maybe it's been someone that you're trying to be, like a fantasy self, and there's something there that you feel inspired by, but you're buying the wrong things for your reality. You have to be able to mesh those two. That's another way that your closet can fall out of step with who you are and who you're trying to become, even if you're conscious of trying to become this more fantasy self. If you buy things that are off for your reality entirely, then it'll just end up being a mess, and your closet ends up cluttered, and you hate it, and you hate that you have these beautiful things, but you're not wearing them because it's not actually what you need. You need aspects of that beauty, but in something that's going to work for your reality. Otherwise, you hate everything that you have in your closet, or you love it, but you feel like stressed and frustrated because you're not wearing it and you're not going to wear it. I think that there are a few things more demoralizing for style, for personal style, than opening up your closet to get dressed and seeing nothing that you can just put on. Having things in view that don't work for your reality, that don't work for your current size, that don't work for your color preferences or tastes or whatever it is. Having all these things, seeing so much, seeing even an abundance, and not feeling like any of it is for you today. That is very frustrating. It also happens if you've undergone if you have undergone rapid growth or rapid change, like you've moved to a new city, and that city, like the whole vibe is different, and your closet, if you have a very personal style, you're not going to care because you're going to be who you are wherever you go. But let's say that the weather is different. Well, maybe you have that very personal style, but your wardrobe was more geared toward cold weather, and now you're somewhere very hot, and it's not working for you. Things have to be updated and changed when you undergo rapid growth. Motherhood is a big one, but changing cities is too, or having a immense period of illness or grief or just unwellness that can really shift what you need and what you need to see in your closet and what you need to feel good in your clothes, what you need to not hate your whole wardrobe. I think if you can, try and find the outfit in your wardrobe that you hate the least and identify why you hate it the least. Is there something that you actually like about it? And if so, what is that? The things that you hate, can you identify what you hate about them? Can you identify why you don't want to wear it? What is off about it? For me, I usually like something about my clothes. Even when I've hated my whole closet, there's been something I liked, and then multiple things usually that I didn't like about every single item. It could be some small detail with the fit. For me, that's like a choky neckline. This one is nice. It doesn't touch my neck. If things are like tight there, even a little bit, when I first try it on, it might seem fine. And then after you've worn it for a couple hours, it might not be fine. It could be the color. It could be some other small fit issue where it's like just a little bit too tight or a little too loose in a way that you cannot overcome and it becomes frustrating. But if you can identify something, either identify all the things that you don't like. Maybe you truly hate absolutely everything in your closet, and you got to be able to identify why in order to replace things slowly with clothes that you actually do like. If you're feeling very much like I cannot identify why I hate it, I just hate it, that's when I think we need to get more into it's not the clothes. I think if it is the clothes, you could probably identify at least some reasons why it is the clothes. If you can't, and it's just a bad feeling, then we need to try the it's not the clothes approach. So let's go into that. Sometimes it's just not the clothes. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes we have a bad feeling in some other aspect of our life, and we put it onto our clothes because clothes feel like a manageable project. It feels like a manageable project, and also shopping can feel joyful. New things can feel joyful and cathartic and like you're making progress. So if you identify clothing as a problem, then you feel like the solution then will be obvious and it's something that you can just buy your way out of. But if the dissatisfaction is coming from some other aspect of your life, then buying the clothing is not the solution. It might temporarily feel like a solution because of the joy that comes from the new things and from feeling like you are making progress, that you are getting toward a solution. But if it's not the clothes, that high wears off and you hate everything in your closet again, and you can get into this cycle where you're pretty sure that it still is the clothes, because when you buy new things you feel better temporarily, but you end up hating it all again, and cycling through this bad cycle of consumption. And it just feels bad too. It feels bad to be caught and to be at the same point again of, I don't like the way I look in this, I don't like the way I feel in this, I don't feel good, I feel bad, I feel frustrated, and to not get out of it. The way to get out of it, and this is just generally good advice, which is why I think even if it is the clothes, you might as well do these things to check the boxes of the it's not the clothes possibility, because it amounts to self-care. So if we're feeling not good in some aspect of our life, even if it's the clothes, then putting extra care into different aspects of our life to lift ourselves up, to buoy ourselves, to increase our joy and happiness and satisfaction in other areas of life, will also ripple through the clothing and appearance area of life and satisfaction. So I think that can look like socializing, having happy, laughter, fun times with people you like, or just being around other people who are joyful can rub off on us and make us feel better. So checking for social needs that maybe have gone unmet or pushed aside. I like creative outlets. They matter a lot to me. Doing something creative can recenter me. And I think nourishing yourself creatively can be of good benefit. I think making sure nutritionally you're doing okay. If I eat junk food for weeks because I've been busy and stressed, I start to feel bad. And it's easy to take that bad feeling and put it on something with a simpler solution like buying clothes rather than making sure I'm eating enough broccoli. Movement of the body is another one. Any kind of movement. It can be a walk, it can be gentle yoga before bed. Just being grounded in your body, I think, can be enormously helpful, especially when the projection of dissatisfaction is going into physical areas, like not feeling good about how you look in things, not feeling good about how you feel in your clothing. If you feel good in your body, in a more general sense, from movement and broccoli and taking decent care of yourself as a living being, then you're going to feel better about how you look, and you can at least rule that out as a reason that you're dissatisfied with the clothing. Then maybe it is the clothing if you feel really good in your body already. Let's see. Sometimes you just need to consume something else that is good and joyful. Sometimes you're already eating healthy and doing all of that, and what you need is a donut. You need a little sugar in your life. You need a little fun consumption, and it doesn't have to be food. It could be movies. It could be silly books or serious books. Feed your brain. These kinds of, distraction is not the right word, but to consume different media that can be really nourishing to different other aspects of us. Learning about something new, just being entertained, listening to music, playing music, going to a concert, going with a friend, having a really balanced life, or at least checking to make sure that you're not neglecting an important area of your life. You got to shore up all of your mental areas to make sure that you're in a good place with yourself and with life in the general sense, so that you can then look at your wardrobe more objectively and know if it is the clothes, or if maybe now that you've taken care of yourself for a few weeks, the clothes seem more exciting again, and it becomes more of a challenge of, how do I put together the clothes that I currently own in ways that feel authentic to me now? So take good care of yourself. Have a good life, and you'll know then if it is the clothes, or if you're just not feeling inspired and satisfied generally, and putting that onto your clothes. I think it can be useful to take a few weeks of time not thinking about clothes when you feel like you hate your wardrobe. Think about all those other things. Focus on friendships and art and movement and all of the beauty around us, and then revisit the clothing. And make sure during that time that you're staying off of social media, that you're not inundating yourself with dissatisfaction with clothing, because a lot of the internet seems to be aimed at making you feel dissatisfied with your clothing in order to encourage overconsumption. Going on a break from that kind of social media, a break from other people's style, other people's fashion, and getting your inspiration only from people you're seeing in real life, movies that you're seeing, clothing that's described in books, that kind of thing, rather than the targeted be unhappy, buy information that we get from so much of the internet. Yeah. At the end of that break, I think maybe even a full month, at the end of that, when you look in your closet again and you think, how do I feel about my clothes? Do they represent who I am now and who I'm becoming? Do they fit my lifestyle? Do they fit my preferences for fiber content, the way it feels, the way it moves? Does it wash easily for my lifestyle? The colors, the cuts, all of that. You'll be able to be in a calm and grounded place to ask yourself those questions. And I think that the answer that you get, or answers, will be something you can trust and something that you can start to move forward on. Because if you do come to the end of that period of time, and it is the clothes, for any of the reasons mentioned earlier, you're in a really balanced place to say, okay, well, I'm going to make small steps. I'm going to buy one new outfit this month. I'm going to cycle it in. I'm going to push out an outfit I really don't like, and I'm going to live in that outfit and see how it strikes me, to see if I get sick of it in a month from now. If you buy something that you like initially and you're sick of it in just a month, something went wrong there. Something went wrong. And it's not to say that we don't all buy something sometimes. Like, you can't have a 100% success rate, I don't think, because the neckline that felt fine for the first hour might be driving you nuts by hour 4. So of course that was not a success and will have to be moved out of your wardrobe. And you know why that is. But if it's something that's happening repeatedly with almost everything you buy, we need to figure out why that is. That is an important thing to uncover for yourself, so that you can feel satisfied, and so that when you open your closet, the things that you see, you like. You don't have to love them every single day, but you shouldn't be hating them every single day, and you shouldn't feel like, I have nothing to wear, I hate everything in here, this isn't working for me. Your clothes should be working for you, and there should be aspects that you enjoy about them. I wish that very much for you. I hope this was helpful and that you leave any of your thoughts and comments down below. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.